Look at you alone in your living room. Lights turned off. Muted blue glare of the TV. Reminds you of just how helpless you are, doesn't it? The thunder's shrieking. The wind is howling and your attic is creaking. Do you hear the knocking at the door? Are you surprised to hear the knocking? You might be thinking to yourself,
Hey, I didn't order any pizza.
oh yeah! Look at you standing. Your door crashes open and the murder crew enters your home. They're yelling jokes, pop culture references, and start mansplaining some of the most vile true crimes you've ever heard of. You listen to them unsure at first. Pretty soon you're laughing, horrified and strangely turned on. At some point they realize they forgot to introduce themselves. Naughty boys. Make some room in your heart for Grant, Jamie, Austin, Carlton, Joseph, and the friends, lovers, and or acquaintances they pressure into hanging out, just like your creepy boss who has no friends.
Hey, yeah, after you get those files sorted out for me, can you come back to my place for a quick beer? Or 2, 5, 7?
Make room for murder smurder.
Good day. This is Jamie with Murder Schmurder, and I'm about to present the story of Pedro Rodriguez Filho. So apparently Filho means it's like a suffix meaning son, or like junior in like Portuguese or Brazilian Portuguese. To clarify, being a badass motherfucker does not make you a good human. But this guy might be the most badass motherfucking human to have ever existed.
So you're not condoning what he did,
Yeah, correct.
but you just want people to know about it.
Yeah, so this is who is it? Jules from
Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
Like Samuel L. Jackson's character.
So this is Brazilian Jules.
Dude, this guy does Jules moves in real life.
Okay.
And
has a wallet that says "bad motherfucker" on it.
Yeah, dude.
But in Portuguese.
This dude has lived such a wild fucking life and didn't care, and then kind of pulled the rein back, and now he's still alive.
He's still living.
all right.
He's still alive. So to clarify also, he's number 6 on the most prolific serial killer of all time. That
Of
is
all
listed.
time?
Yeah. As in a serial killer we know about with
Documented deaths and everything.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So he's
Okay.
at number 6. And this
Is
is
this a
him.
picture of him queued
Yeah,
up?
these are pictures of him when he's younger and older as well.
Oh, my God. He looks like Brazilian Pete Davidson a little
He
bit,
kind of does, actually.
which is an insult.
Is it? It is an insult.
Grant, have you seen this dude?
No. That guy.
Let me see this guy. Let me.
He looks like a hoot.
That. Ugh.
Here, just take the slap.
I can't. I'm sorry. No, I can't fucking take this asshole seriously after this picture.
That is him, I assume, now.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's him now.
That's fucking lame. I'm sorry. If you're gonna be a badass serial killer, you should retire with some fucking dignity. Don't take pictures of your knucks really close to a camera.
That's his promo for his self-defense tape.
Yeah.
That's fair. This picture, however, looks really
This is
similar
how you get away from
to
me.
a guy that I worked
That's his
with.
tape.
Oh, a guy, a coworker.
A coworker, like
You like that as a self-defense tape?
Yeah,
it
this
looks
is
like
how you get away
like a
from
dude
me.
I worked with. For a while.
This is what I would do to attack you. This is how you deflect me.
However, him with hair, not so bad.
Not bad, right?
No, it's like a nice head of hair.
He's got like Jesse Eisenberg hair, surprisingly.
Yeah. Where is he from again? You said
Brazil.
Oh, yeah, he sure
Brazil.
does. That's fun.
okay. All right. Well, good for him.
Yeah. Good for him having hair.
Good for him having hair and being from Brazil.
Okay. So I'm just going to...
I don't know if you know this, Jamie, but did you know they speak Portuguese in Brazil
I
and
do
not
know that,
Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Which
there you
is
go.
very like it makes me feel very stupid because like when you look at Portuguese, a lot of the words look like they're Spanish.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of times I'm like, oh, I know this, and then I'm instantly reading it like I have no clue what the fuck.
Have you ever met someone from Brazil and they're just so ready to tell you that they don't speak Spanish, even if you don't try to speak Spanish to them?
I don't think that's ever happened.
It happened to me once.
I actually went to
So it's not really a thing.
through like middle school and high school with a guy from Brazil. He talked very, very good drummer, but he often talked about how Spanish is a garbage language and Portuguese is
Yes.
beautiful.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
respect that, actually.
Okay. Guy's born 1954. Everything I'm about to say, I've looked at several sources. Several things seem to conflict. One, because he also hypes himself up and he's the one telling his own narrative.
Sure.
Oh,
Right.
that should be trusted.
So there's certain things like we know he killed this guy, but then like when he's talked about it, he's like, it didn't happen like that. It happened like this. So
Then I whipped my huge dick out and killed the guy.
yeah,
Beat him to death with my own balls.
So like apparently it's like contested if he was born in July or I think in August, but like he was going around telling people he was born on Halloween to help strike fear.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
So like
What a fucking asshole! Fuck this guy. All right. I'm sorry. You're really gonna have to win me over to this dude's a badass
okay,
side. 'Cause
this dude born Brazil, right? Before anything happens, this keeps getting brought up where like I said, number 6 serial killer. So he's killed a lot of people. Apparently his dad while his mom was pregnant with him in the womb, his dad got into an argument with his mom and kicked his mom in the stomach.
Okay.
So when he was born with a bruised skull. So a lot of people bring that up in like the whole idea of like nature versus nurture. Like maybe one reason why he was so okay with killing and had no remorse was, something got knocked in the noodle, which, a lot of science actually says now that's very, very possible.
Yeah.
Head trauma is usually associated with antisocial behavior of some sort.
Yeah, and sometimes violent behavior as well.
Yeah,
And then
sometimes.
sometimes you just get someone who's kind of doyed.
Yeah. I thought that the doid is more wanting doid is the word we want to.
That's the most.
Yeah, this is the hill
That's
you
the
gotta die
best
on.
way I can.
Yeah, we'll go with doid.
That's the best way I can phrase this.
See, I thought that story was going to go with this guy saying stuff like, he was born on a goat's back on Halloween. Like his dad went to go punch his mom in the stomach, but he fucking reached out of his mom's coochie and fucking grabbed his dad by the wrist and fucking twisted it till he fell on his knees.
Dude, I don't know if you're going to like the rest of this, but I think you will. Anyway.
That's promising.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, as you can imagine, he had a very tumultuous relationship with his father. But he was very
You don't
close.
say.
He was very close with his mom and his grandfather. So his grandfather was pretty much the one like took him under his wing, showed him how to farm, showed him how to hunt,
Taught him to make shoes.
the whole thing. You get it.
Cool.
So fast forward from birth, let's go to at age 13. At age 13, apparently he's like working around, doing a whole bunch of stuff, and he has to borrow one of his cousins' horse.
Sure.
Okay.
His
As it happens.
His cousin got really pissed and was like, "You took my horse without my permission." Started a huge fight, decks him in the face,
Okay.
and at 13, he's just like, "I'm gonna get revenge on you," but he doesn't do it in the moment.
So his cousin punched him in the face.
Correct.
For borrowing, quote unquote.
For
his
stealing his horse.
But he brought it.
He
back.
brought it back. He borrowed it.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so like granddad had some money and had his own like sugarcane mill and sugarcane farm.
Okay.
So he's working on the sugarcane mill farm, whatever, with his cousin. And I don't know if you know how sugarcane gets processed, but huge, thick sugarcane. You throw it into a very strong, powerful mill that destroys it. That's how you get the sugar.
Presses
Yeah.
out all the sugar and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. It rings it like a towel.
Right.
Yeah.
So he sees his moment to shine, and he fucking
I like where this is
throws his
going.
cousin into the mill.
Yes.
And apparently, like, he's like, the mill, like, of course, is not made for like humans.
A whole person, a whole ass person.
So, like,
They
the
did design it to take a human body.
so like, it apparently like eats up most of his arm, and then like the mill gets stuck because it's it's not
jacked
for a
up,
whole
yeah.
human. So
Yeah,
apparently he's like pushing his cousin into the mill, trying to kill him. Like in an interview I saw him, it's like, yeah, I was definitely trying to kill him.
Yeah, and he was. all right,
Well,
so this dude was 13, right?
Yeah,
What his name one more time?
Pedro.
Pedro was 13. We will not vote for him. And how old was his cousin?
I couldn't find that out.
Old
They
enough
just said
to
it was
own a horse. So let's say
You can
older
own
than
a horse at
13.
any age.
I mean, let's
And
say
they
older than
apparently were in
13.
a farming community, so probably roughly his own age, I would guess.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe a little older.
I'm gonna guess he was a little bit bigger since he didn't want to
Well, yeah.
fight him then and there.
In the moment, it
Okay.
also shows some animal cunning, being like, I'm going to sit on this hate for a little.
Okay, all right. So I'm sitting in net neutral right now because
Yeah.
I guess I get it. If like some older cousin popped me in the mouth because I had to borrow his horse to do some stuff, still like fuck this kid for taking his horse. But all right,
okay,
all right.
so
But the fact that like he stops and then he's like, that moment you're trying to like flush something down the toilet that shouldn't go down the toilet. You're like, oh shit, it's not going over. You gotta get it in. Just a little
yeah,
bit.
he's like apparently he's like he's trying to push him in and it's not working.
Right.
So he's just like hitting him with shit, like just trying to like get it over with.
Yeah.
but
Stuff him down like a fucking parakeet down the toilet.
Yeah, like a parakeet down a toilet.
I don't want to talk about it.
All right,
so
all right. I do. I want to talk about it.
so like a mill just doesn't run off two people. So there's other people there and everyone's
Just
like,
around
what
and
the
just
fuck?
watching it.
And then apparently, like, they turn off the machine. His grandfather, of course, owning it,
And they
comes
try
by.
the sugar and it's delicious.
Pedro was so
Sweet
badass. He baked
blood of a
cake
teenager.
with his cousin's
You know
blood
what?
sugar.
Oh,
They
that's
made the greatest candy of all the land.
So apparently, like, the cops are called, but in the end, they press no charges.
Whoa.
So,
Why?
okay, so.
cops in Brazil,
they're-
bro.
I guess so.
One, cops
Poor
in
people?
Brazil,
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, or people.
they had enough shit going on with the drugs, the cartels, that alone.
And what year was this?
This is about 1960s.
Okay. Yeah. They probably did have some other stuff.
I'm going to
going
go
on.
back to my previous statement of it was the cops in Brazil in the 60s.
Yeah.
But also, so his whole family wasn't especially wealthy. And kind of going off like why he needed the horse is he was helping provide for his family. I think he was the oldest of the family, if I remember correctly. So they were
burdened.
they basically said like, if you throw him in prison or whatever, it's only going to hurt the family more
Yeah.
than keeping him on. And so also he was the grandfather's favorite. So
Even after the sugar cane
apparently,
incident?
yeah.
What a fucking simp ass grandfather.
I want to hear
Fuck
about this
kid.
grandfather.
Yeah.
What he went through, that he saw his like fucking grandson push his other grandson into a fucking
was-
sugarcane thresher and was like, you know what? I get it.
He was a
He's got initiative.
he was a capoeira master and he wanted to pass on the tradition to his clearly bloodthirsty grandson.
Okay. Fast forward a year.
Okay.
Now he's only 14.
Okay.
So apparently his dad is a patrolman specifically for a high school.
Like a school resource officer.
He's a resource officer.
Essentially, but like you have to understand, like in this time, the schools had like their own food and everything had to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So everything wouldn't get
So
burgled.
he's like sort of like a constable for like a mini school town.
Think of it just as like a fucking a mall security cop.
Well, see, I feel like you were trying to build up from school resource officer.
And now we're back to school resource officer.
Because I'm going to say mall cop, school resource officer, same level.
A school resource officer has a gun, so I will rank him
Yeah,
above.
but do they use it?
No, they don't. They sure don't.
Okay. So apparently his father gets accused of stealing food from the high school. And so like the assistant governor, there's an actual term for it, but I don't know what it is. I don't care.
Like a lieutenant governor?
I don't know what it's called.
Sure.
The assistant governor fires his father.
The comptroller.
And again, they're not very wealthy. So him being fired definitely put his family into greater poverty.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, he was labeled as a thief in the town. So it was even harder for him to get work.
Yeah.
The dad was.
The dad.
Gotcha.
The school
So-
resource officer.
His father is Pedro Sr. He, of course,
Easy.
is Pedro Jr.
Pedro Jr.
Pedro Jr. is like, I'm going to take matters into my own hands.
And I'm going to become a school resource
So
officer.
there. So
PJ following in Daddy's footsteps.
Officer Junior Pedro.
So there's two stories of how it necessarily went down. One story is that he started pretty much manhunting the guy. Like he followed the guy to where he lives, hunting and living outside the guy's house.
The guy, the
assistant governor.
the comptroller.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the assistant governor that fired his father.
Yeah, I was just calling him the comptroller.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he starts just watching him, seeing his patterns and everything. And then one story is that he took his father's sawed-off shotgun and then shot the man on his doorstep.
Cold-blooded.
If true, that is badass.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the less badass version. The
Okay.
more
More
badass
badass.
version is he has told, to my understanding, he has told other people that he killed that man on the steps of the Capitol.
A 14-year-old boy. He wants us to believe that a 14-year-old boy committed a murder in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Capitol, too.
The Capitol.
Which
So
I would
they-
assume is crawling with people.
That must be.
This gets better. Again,
Okay,
he's still
great.
14
He's
at this time.
14
so
years
he
old.
finds out that the person who most likely was stealing the food was his father's partner.
Okay.
So, to my understanding, he didn't really have proof. It's just hearsay. That's the person who actually did everything. So
But he's like,
"You're-
that makes sense.
You're at
Yeah.
equal fault. So, has a sawed-off shotgun still.
Okay.
He breaks into the school before the guy's shift and hides in a cupboard.
Okay.
And waits till nighttime when the guy's patrolling.
He waits until from fucking morning till night with a sawed-off shotgun in a
I
school.
assume afternoon till night.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, he's
And
a
then waits-
capoeira master. He can hide in the shadows.
Right, he can still his heartbeat.
Yeah, exactly.
So he fucking waits till the guy shows up to a specific room. And this is where he starts doing Jules badass motherfucking shit.
Okay.
Where he shoots the guy, tells him exactly why he's about to kill him.
For sure.
And the guy apparently is pleading for his life.
Of
Please,
course he
no.
is, yeah.
I need the. I don't know what.
I
he said.
need the-
I need the food to feed my family. Well, too late now.
See if they eat lead.
Yeah.
Which he totally said, and then he went and banged his supermodel girlfriend because this guy.
Because this is a
Is the
14-year-old
coolest dude
boy. He's the coolest 14-year-old boy going on a sawed-off shotgun adventure.
So my favorite part, the badass part about this, is not only did he kill that guy and shot him to death, but apparently after shooting him to death, he took a whole bunch of furniture, laid it on top of the guy's body, and built pretty much a funeral pyre, and just fucking lit it and walked out.
In the school?
And he walked away backwards with a giant.
Dude.
This kid.
Didn't look back one time.
I'm gonna keep calling him a
Look back
kid
even
because
once.
he is writing his life like it's taken, and he is the child soldier star in it. If the Karate Kid boo-fooed Liam Neeson and said, "This is my movie now."
Okay, so
Wait, so are the deaths of the lieutenant governor and his dad's partner are they documented deaths?
Yes.
That he did murder.
Yes.
Factually, he
Yes.
murdered this
Yes.
dude.
Maybe not how he said.
yes.
100% not how he said.
Right, obviously.
So a lot of this is just oh, we know he killed them, but he whenever he talks about it, he's like, let me tell you how I did it.
I really
Right.
did.
So with him, it's the action movie based on true events.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, based on a true story.
Right. So in the writer's room, that didn't play as well. Let's have a funeral pyre.
Let's just spice that up a little bit.
At his house, what about the steps of the Capitol?
Yes. Yes.
In broad daylight, flock of doves? Yes,
Yes,
flock
let's John
of doves.
Lewis.
Okay, so this all happens. Of course, the police are like, did this kid fucking do it? And so apparently they're looking for him. So he skips town. So he goes to a big city in Brazil called Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo.
I have heard of this place.
And apparently,
That's how I know it's a big city.
Yeah.
he just starts dealing, trafficking drugs,
Got to.
14 years old.
and apparently he becomes. This is where it kind of gets murky. A lot of weird things start happening.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're basically saying this is the kid from Tropic Thunder who's in charge of Flaming
Flaming dragon!
Okay, so he starts working. How do I put this?
Simple Jack.
Simple Jack!
So he starts working and or banging for this lady called Maria Aparecida Olympia, but she goes by Botinha, if that's
Sure.
correctly pronounced.
Botinha.
I've heard someone else say like she went by Booty, and I was like, I don't think that's right.
We're calling her
So,
Booty.
14-year-old kid is banging this older woman named Booty.
Yeah.
That this 14-year-old boy is telling everyone is named Booty.
Well, the lady's name is Booty.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
picture of Booty?
No.
That sucks.
Because she's super not made up by a 14-year-old.
No.
But okay.
Just Google Booty.
She does not.
Google Booty.
She doesn't go to another gang. Don't worry about that.
She goes to another. She's in a Canadian gang. You
in a
probably haven't
Canadian
heard of
gang.
them. The cantankerous Canucks.
We haven't. We're gonna have a picture of her soon when she goes to the mall and get headshots.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
She has a crumpled up picture of like a Victoria's Secret model. This is her, dude. She like models
Yeah,
underwear.
for real.
But
Kathy
apparently,
Ireland.
Booty was like
Glenn Close.
one older, two pretty much a kind of a drug kingpin to where that she would recruit younger men and sleep with them and basically get them to do her dealing, trafficking, all her basic bitch work.
So a pedophile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is, I'd
With a
say,
motive.
one of the best ways to convince 14-year-old boys to do something.
You're gonna have sex with me. I'll do it literally whatever you want.
Yeah.
I do understand how many people me as a 14-year-old boy would have murdered.
Genius, yeah.
Even if we didn't have full-on penetration, like if someone was just like, I'll just like touch it a lot.
I'm gonna flick you in the head of your penis if you stab that guy over there. I'm like, give me a knife.
Like, I've already stabbed him, baby. Get to flicking.
Done and done.
So imagine like,
can
there's
look at it. I'm
other
ready
like
to go.
14, 16-year-olds and like, maybe they're running like a couple small ops for her. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, oh, I like you. But this guy is straight up robbing and killing people with no disregard or no regard for.
Affiliation or anything, or like none of the rules. He doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah,
He doesn't play by the rules.
So-
he's a 14-year-old with a sawed-off shotgun and a hot older girlfriend.
So very quickly he becomes her number two.
At 14.
Well,
For a head criminal organization.
Flaming Draco.
I just want to make sure.
Okay.
okay. So
He's probably 15 at this point.
Yeah, he's got.
well, like from 14 to I would say 16, 17 is when he's like building up this reputation.
Okay, building up
right?
the rep.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
for sure.
And okay, so he gives this one story, right?
You're getting less and less excited about telling us about this
Because
guy.
like this is like there's a point where I'm like, this is the part where you should love him because
Yeah.
he's redeeming himself, and then he does more stuff, and they're like, okay, nah, never mind. You're not okay, cool, yeah. Okay,
so at this point, he's second in command.
he's second in command,
At 16 years old.
and he's really uneasy because
Right.
he's basically robbing a whole bunch of people. Has anyone here seen The Wire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the one character, Antoine, if I remember correctly, who was basically like he would only rob other drug dealers?
Yeah.
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 Basically, that was
think
what
it
he
was
was doing.
Antoine.
He would rob a whole bunch of other drug dealers and just fuck shit up. And of course, every other rival gang was just pissed off and wanted him dead.
Right.
So
Eventually gets his comeuppance. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
worried about your comeuppance at the very least.
Yeah, you're concerned about it.
apparently, these three guys are like, man, you're so stressed. We should go smoke some weed. And so apparently
Oh,
they
they
go to
trapped him with weed?
they like got him. They went to a
He is
quarry
16,
or whatever.
dude. Getting tricked with weed and hand jobs? God damn, I'm starting to believe you again. All right.
So like apparently they start smoking weed, and then it clicks like this might be a trap.
Yeah.
And he like apparently pulled his gun and like told all of them, drop your guns, like we're not doing this dance. And they like apparently were like, yeah, dude, it's fine, we're all chill. Fucking guns down, two of them, puts the other one in the hospital. Guy barely survives. And that's just like one of his stories of just like how that's how like freaked out I was.
Yeah, he got too high.
Yeah, he got super stoned, freaked out like it happened.
Got all fucking paranoid.
Only he had a gun.
Because he's a 16-year-old murderer and just shot his friends who were nice enough to smoke him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking a dick.
Yeah, I'm
What
not
an asshole.
I'm still not on his side.
Yeah.
So he's robbing tons of people. Specifically, he catches the eye of another guy, and I couldn't necessarily find it. I only heard another podcast to talk about it. They said that the other rival drug dealer, his name was China, which I have a very hard believing.
God damn it. Now it's the WWE. Fucking the pro wrestler China. Bust their wall.
Dude, I would pay to watch China just bust in a Brazilian drug-fueled action movie.
And just beat the shit out of a 14-year-old boy.
I would watch that all day.
There's a Chris Hemsworth action movie. I think it's called The Bridge on Netflix, and there is a scene in it where it's just Chris Hemsworth beating the absolute brakes off of like a gang of 14-year-olds, like at the oldest. I think they range from age 9 to 14, like these child soldiers. So like the main bad guy's like, go stop that American, and they all go chase him down. They like break into it, and he's just like, okay, and just blasting these 14-year-olds in the fucking face.
Dude.
Can't tell you anything else about that movie, but that scene stuck with me. I was like, this is awesome.
Was it a good movie? You know, I don't know, but that scene.
But that scene, get to watch Chris Hemsworth, all 17 feet of him, just curb stomp a child was well worth it.
I was about to say, I feel like I'm picturing that scene where the Ents just fucking rake hell,
Yes.
hell down on the on the orcs, you know, and they're just stomping them and throwing them and everything.
That was exactly it. It's the funniest thing Chris Hemsworth's
And it's called
ever
The Bridge?
done. I'm pretty sure it's called The Bridge.
Yes, I'm watching The Bridge.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Tell me about the scene where he beats up a bunch of teenagers.
Okay. He's still, at this point now, he's 16. China gets wind that, like,
Now he's
Pedro Jr. is
He's coming for the belt.
So apparently he's like, okay, I got your number. When I see my time, I'm gonna take something you love. I'm gonna get your ass. So
Which he totally said.
yeah, that's how he said it. Yeah, just like
I'll
that.
see you at the ladder match this March, China.
So I should also this small thing is going to be more relevant later in the story.
Okay.
But apparently in the time, I assume this was pretty normal, not only there but throughout the United States. But if you knocked a woman up, it was customary that you marry her. It was unsightly and looked down upon.
I'd say like probably most places.
Yeah.
You know, they have a little bit of a shotgun wedding.
Yeah, that's most places.
And he's already got the sawed off, so
Yeah.
Yeah. He just has to hand it to the dad.
So he knocks
all right, here you
up Booty. 16.
Right. Got it.
16.
he gets booty pregnant.
16 already signed a contract for a ladder match with China. Now has a baby to deal with.
You know, they don't get married. They have like he proposes. That's his fiance.
Sure.
China finds out.
God damn it! No, Vince McMahon told her, didn't he?
Does she suplex that baby right out of her?
China kills Booty. No. Yeah. So now
China.
vengeance.
Does the baby survive?
The baby does not survive.
Damn it! No.
Fucking like apparently
Damn it, China!
like it was like some epic shit. Like he came home and like blood everywhere. They like wrote something on the wall.
Oh, like Manson family
yeah,
style?
they wanted to make a point. But it had been such a long time that Pedro Jr. didn't piece together that China was the one behind it
Yeah,
because China bid his time
Right,
in
right.
between getting
like
vengeance.
he did with the sugar cane.
Dude, he met his match.
So apparently for the next year, like have you seen Deadpool? Has everyone here seen
Yeah.
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Remember like when he's like, I gotta find Francis, and he's like killing people left and right, just like, where is he?
Yeah.
Same
So he
shit.
just
Like,
mows his way through.
yeah,
the
he's just trying to
Brazilian
find out
underbelly.
like who killed his fiance,
His booty.
and who killed.
Booty?
Who killed my booty?
And apparently a year goes by, and he's losing steam. Like he's really depressed because he's like,
I mean, you can't kill people for a whole year.
Your rampage juice will
eventually
run
you
out.
need to just eat a sandwich and take
That
a
is
break.
true.
Also,
What's the head count?
at this point, I think the legitimate head count is still pretty short.
Okay.
But he says later in interviews and in court that his head count in about a year or two from this was near 100.
Oh yeah, I bet it was
For sure.
100%. It was that.
I'm also like imagining, like in like Dewey Cox Walk Hard. It's just Dewey Cox playing him. It's just John C. Reilly playing Dewey Cox the whole time, even as a 14-year-old boy.
Yes.
It's like, I'm just a 14-year-old with my wife and my kid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I'm imagining that picture of old Pedro. I'm just like, I'm just coming home. 16-year-old me. Open the door. No, my dead 37-year-old wife.
Okay, so apparently he's sitting at a bar having a beer, pretty beat down about everything.
Sure.
And
At 16 years old.
supposedly he runs into the ex-lover of China.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
And she's just like, it was China who did it. Dun. Yeah. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's because you were robbing him and killing his cronies. And he's like, I should have known the whole time.
Right.
So,
This is a great movie.
It's an incredible movie.
I'm loving this.
okay, so apparently the following weekend, there was a huge wedding. China and all of his men were supposed to be there.
Of course.
So,
Yeah, of course.
For a big wedding.
Well, I'm just imagining a massive estate. Everybody's got on the nice clothes.
I'm picturing the opening of The
security
Godfather.
guards,
But
you
in
know.
Brazil.
Opening a Punisher.
Opening of Punisher. Yeah.
Yeah, the good
Yeah.
Punisher, not the weird one.
No, Thomas Jane Punisher.
Yeah. Also,
That guy working anymore?
Yeah, I think he just did a show.
Good for him.
Yeah, he just did The Expanse.
him.
He just did season 1 and 2, one episode, seasons 1, 2,
is
and
in The
3.
Expanse.
And he's fucking fantastic.
I gotta watch that. I love the books. Haven't watched the show yet.
It's really fucking good.
Can this be a sci-fi podcast?
oh, this is a fun little.
No, let me guess. Pedro invented the first Brazilian spaceship. He flew that. he flew that bad boy to the moon.
I've also recast him in my head. Have
is
you
in that?
have you watched Hannah Montana?
Yes.
The fucking little shithead kid that ran the surf shop, the snack shop. You know what I'm talking about? What's this
The kid that was always wearing like a shirt over a shirt.
Yeah, that kid. And he's just sitting at a bar smoking a cigarette, drinking a beer.
Is that the kid who's like he takes her on a date and he like puts on like the soft fire music?
Yeah,
Is that him?
Hey, where's the big stupid swoopy bangs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently in that like 1 year rampage, or one of his uncles and one of his aunts, they like follow this like, I don't want to say a voodoo like religion, but it's an old, more mystic religion where like a lot of like focusing on blood, focusing on sacrifices and whatnot.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So kind of like Santeria or Voodoo or something like that.
Paolo Mayombe.
Yeah, let's go with that last one. That sounds cool.
It is.
Yeah.
It's not. It's creepy.
It is very creepy.
Yeah.
But they want to give him like a ceremony to empower him and like strengthen him.
Yeah, I think
and he's
it's
like,
Halloween,
I fucking need that. So apparently the ceremony was he has to get a cat, dismember it,
Sure.
drink its blood, rub its entrails over his fully shaved body.
This has to be Palomino.
Yeah. There's no way this isn't.
And then he has to like grab whatever seeds he finds of whatever he wants to grow,
Sure.
put it into the cat, bury the cat.
Right.
And that was the ceremony.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was saying, apparently he like went back later a couple days and everything had hardened, and he made a necklace of the seeds
bones.
that he put inside the cat. So apparently at this point he's just like, I'm on top of the world. Nothing can fucking stop me. I'm gonna fucking kill anyone.
Now that I've got these pumpkin seeds that were in this cat, I mean, goddamn, nothing can stop me.
Like it's something. I've got a date with a teenage superstar named Hannah Montana.
Okay, so let's go back.
So we're back at the wedding.
Back
right?
at the wedding. China's wedding.
I'm loving this. Yeah.
Fucking.
He went to China's wedding.
It wasn't China's wedding. It was a wedding that China was at.
So wait,
Oh,
so
okay,
he
okay.
did all this prior to going to the wedding, right?
Yeah.
Because this is like his soup
is
up
his
phase,
soup up
like
montage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This is like Rocky training and like hitting the sides of the
But
beef.
with cat guts. Yeah.
Yeah.
So fuck. So he gets. He brings two of his boys, and apparently he's just like loading them up with guns and just like we're here to fuck shit
Decimate.
up. Okay, we're not here to like
yeah.
talk. We're not here to like see who did what. We're here to murder. So apparently some guy like at the front of the ceremony is just like, oh, you part of the to my understanding, he said this, like him telling the story. But apparently, like some guy was like, "So you're part of the groom or the bride?" And he's just like, "I'm the most important guest here." And apparently, like
The groom then? Oh, nice.
Yeah, that kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so we're all clear. All right.
But apparently he like sees China out the corner of his eye, like pushes the old man aside, fucking blasts China right there, kills him, first person he sees. That's
Nice.
he gets shit done. But apparently he's like, that's not good enough.
That's
And
good luck right there.
Him
Yeah,
and
it
his
is.
boys go on a rampage where he says they did not want to kill any of the children or any of the women.
Okay.
But they wanted
good
to
of
kill
Yeah.
all the men, thinking that they were all cronies, or in the least were complacent with the murder of his booty.
This is just more rampant misandry
Yeah.
going around. When are guys going to catch a break?
Yeah, I don't know, dude. That's fucked up, man.
So
It's like a tiny Leon the Professional.
apparently this is
No women, no children.
I love that movie. Anyway,
so good. It's so good.
what's it called? So apparently this was like the peak of his murders in the sense of like most murders he
Shooting
did per
up
day.
a wedding? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Apparently he murdered 7 people that day and injured 16.
Okay.
Factually, or he said this?
Factually.
Factually, this happened.
Well, you have to understand. Factually, 7 people died or were murdered.
okay.
So it wasn't necessarily him that did all of them.
But
'cause he had
7
two
people
friends.
did
But
die.
it was him and his boys.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do mean boys
And then-
because they're all under 18.
Yeah. This is just the most not in one day, not the most ever, because he had those previous 100 murders.
Yeah, don't forget. So
Well-
now he's up to like what, 250?
Well, no, he doesn't say that he's done 100 yet.
Okay.
But like this is in that time span.
Okay.
Right.
But nonetheless, this was the day he killed the most people at one time.
Cool. Good for him.
Only 7. Got it.
Lucky 7. It's probably why I didn't get caught.
Yeah.
So at this point, the cops have to intervene, and they're a huge manhunt. But at the same time, he is seen as a celebrity of the people because now he's killing off a whole bunch of drug dealers and drug traffickers.
No,
so a lot
bit
of people,
John Dillinger action.
yeah. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's a vigilante. Oh, he's fighting for us."
Not a spree killer. Right.
Yeah.
So apparently, like at one point, the cops find out where he's at, and they have a shootout. And apparently, he gets shot and passes out. He wakes up in the hospital, surrounded by press and officers, basically saying like, "This is the man. This is the celebrity, the man, the myth, the legend." And they automatically just start putting him in the trial. And then in the trial, they say like, "We know that you are being charged with having killed 24 people." And he apparently is livid because he's like, "Only 24? I've killed at least 100.
What a fucking asshole. What a stupid piece of shit.
This is a case of keep your fucking
Yeah.
mouth shut and let the lawyer talk.
But yeah, apparently he's like in the court being like, no, I killed more. And they're like, "Yeah, we have 24. And they're like, "Well, okay." But his lawyers were able to like, what's it called? Disprove
gag in
6
his
of
mouth?
them. So I think he was only charged with 17.
Oh, there you go. Only
right.
17 murders.
okay.
Good lawyers.
Yeah, that's solid.
What's that, like 6 months?
No, it's like 6 months a person.
So I think, if I remember correctly,
Okay.
they sentenced him to something like pretty ridiculous. I think it was like 400 years in prison is like the official, like what he was supposed to serve. So most people are like, "Okay, we caught him. Things are gonna settle down and go back to normal."
Yeah.
He does not want to do that. He doesn't. He's like, fuck all that."
I've got a sequel to start writing.
So,
So
like,
Brazilian prison did not chill this kid
no,
out.
no.
Is what you're telling me.
So apparently he's being transported at one time. So they put him like a transport to ship him from, I think, the jail to the prison.
Yeah.
And he's in with one other guy, right?
Who's played by Walter Goggins.
So like they fucking pull up to the prison, right? And they open the door. Pedro Jr. gets out, and the other guy is straight up dead.
Right.
He killed Walter Goggins. Phenomenal.
And they're like, "What the fuck? What happened?" And he's just like, "He was a rapist."
Okay.
All right, well,
He was going to jail.
you couldn't wait till we got off the bus. We have to clean this.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have.
Was he trying to rape you?
Yeah, did he open with, "Hi, I'm Carlos. I'm a rapist"?
Yeah.
So around this time, because people start trying to like paint this picture of he's a vigilante,
Right.
Especially after having taken or avenged Brody's death, specifically on China, who was perceived to be a drug trafficker, a terrible person. He now starts. This is conjecture, but you can start seeing it in how he starts wording it.
This is conjecture.
You can see that he starts believing this whole narrative that people are putting on him.
He's believing his own hype.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm a vigilante. I'm supposed to kill the bad guys. And so he kind of goes on a whole bunch of just rampage murders in prison.
Like Bronson, but 16 years old.
No, so by this time, I think he's like, I think he serves 20 or 30 years in prison. So this is over the span from like 18 to 40.
Oh, okay. So he's just killing mofos in prison.
Just like,
Just
so
shanking.
he gets
He
into
is now
prison.
played by George Lopez.
Okay. So he gets into prison, right?
Okay.
And then everyone wants his head because they're like, we're not going to have this vigilante. We're not going to say like he runs shit. People are jealous of all the attention he's getting. And so apparently like 5 guys try to jump him. He kills 3 of them.
Damn.
And like severely injures the other 2. And that was like the beginning of just like, I run this prison. And okay, here are some of the awesome stories of like people he murdered in this time span.
He's going to be furious I didn't cast him as Danny Trejo. He's going to be so mad, but I'm not going to give it to him.
You're going to get a letter.
He wanted to be Danny Trejo, but I'm like,
Everybody wants to be Danny Trejo, but there's only one.
So in prison, they pieced together he killed at least 40 plus men. I think it was like 44 for sure.
Damn.
Oh, this is factual.
Yeah, this is all factual. Like he this is like his golden period where he really goes to town on murdering people.
Okay.
So this is like his White Album.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's now good at it.
yeah.
George Lopez did murder these people. Little kid from Hannah Montana. Nah, I'm not buying it.
Okay. So story 1. So apparently he has a best friend. I thought that was kind of wild that he has a best friend, but everyone needs friends.
Everybody has a
Everybody,
best
there's someone
friend.
for everybody.
There is.
But apparently,
Oh, that's
like
cute.
his best friend, they're real cool, and his buddy gets out. Like he served his time, and he was like, "Hey, if you need to stay up somewhere, here's the contact info to my grandmother, rest of my family. They'll take care of you."
Also played by Walter Goggins.
So, so dude goes
grandma,
up
not the friend.
to hang out with Pedro Jr.'s family, and he hits it off with Pedro's sister.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
shit.
And apparently, things are going great.
Rebel Wilson.
They're together. They love each other. Everything's going great. They have Pedro Jr.'s blessing. Everything's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
But
great.
Oh, his blessing. Nice.
that's
cute.
Very nice.
Yeah, and then apparently, his best friend gets into a fight with, I think, the brother, or I guess one of Pedro Jr.'s brother, or somebody else.
Someone else in the family.
Yeah.
They get into a huge fight. Guns are drawn, and he is trying to shoot that guy. He misses and hits
Man.
Pedro's sister.
No.
She
man.
dies.
Wow.
So cops come and the family's like, dude, you fucking killed her. And he's like, it was an accident. Well, you got to go to jail. And they throw
Oh,
him
do
in.
they take him to the same?
They take him back to the same prison.
It seems like
Oh,
a bad idea. It seems
hell
like
no.
negligence on their part.
Just go a couple miles to another town and just put him in that one.
yeah.
No, so like he's like, dude, I'm gonna fucking die in here. Like,
Yeah.
he's like counting the days. I'm sure he's doing his blessings. Just like, okay, come on. Let's hope it's short and
Doing the
sweet, baby.
confessions and everything.
And apparently, Pedro comes to him and he like explains like what happened, and he tells Pedro, it's like, listen, man, this is what happened. It was a complete accident. I feel terrible about it. I lost, you lost your sister, but I lost the love of my life, and everything sucks. And apparently, Pedro's like, you know what? I forgive you. You're my best friend. And he's like, word?
That worked out.
All right, yeah.
Just that Homelander. Okay.
So, they let it be. And apparently, I think it was like, he apparently stews on it for a couple hours. Pedro Jr. stews on it for a couple hours. And apparently, like, snaps. And he was just like, I don't forgive you.
Actually, this isn't okay. Yeah.
And
Not
he-
as cool with this as I thought I was.
okay, if I remember correctly, he fucking stabbed his friend of course, to death, but stabbed him in the neck so many times to the point to where he severed his head.
Damn.
That one I do believe.
Yeah, that one I'll do believe.
Okay, so I don't know how this one actually worked. I think this might have been before prison, but it's listed around the same time. But
Okay.
apparently, when I was talking about the whole marriage thing and like, hey, you knock a girl up, you should probably marry her. Some guy like knocked up one of his cousins and didn't marry her.
That bitch.
Fucking asshole.
And he finds out, murders that guy.
Yeah, he was also played by Triple H.
So around this time, a lot of people love him. Like I said, he's still a celebrity.
So he's still got some goodwill.
Yeah, everyone still like people are like, hitting him up with like notes of like, "Oh, will you marry me? Oh my God, you're so amazing." But also people are saying like, "Hey, so and so is in your prison."
Yeah, go kill
and
that
he,
guy.
Yeah, go kill that guy. Like he killed my family. I know you killed bad people. And apparently, if he thought you were genuine in your letter, he would murder that person.
All right, how about you throw a few bucks on my commissary tab and I'll make this little problem go away.
Run short on ramen.
Because daddy needs his Milky Ways.
So, there is one half of like, okay, I guess he's kind of good. But also in another interview, he's like, oh yeah, sometimes I just got pissed off and I would kill people. Apparently he killed a man in his cell or one of his cellmates because he snored too loudly.
Honestly,
I'm not mad at that.
no, that's the most reasonable fucking thing I've heard in the last hour. Like,
Because I had a college roommate, and God bless Richie. Shout out to Richie if you're listening. But I just want you to know there were so many nights I thought about killing you. And there was several nights where I'm not proud of this, but I would just think quietly to myself, God, I wish the sleep apnea would kill him.
God, dude.
I'm not saying it was right to think that, but that's how I felt.
There was a
If
girl I
you get
used to
tired
hook,
enough, I understand.
yeah, there was a girl I used to hook up with who I like snored me out of my own bed, like I think 2 times too many. Where I was just like, I'm never sleeping with you ever again. And this was like at a point in my life when I wasn't like real picky about sex, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm better than this. I deserve better.
I, Sam, deserve better than this.
Yeah, I deserve to sleep. Yeah, that was really my only line. I was like, don't fuck with my sleep, lady.
Okay, so the next person he murders is some guy like tries to spy on him during a conjugal visit.
Oh, can't do that.
Finds out, murders the guy.
No sloppy seconds in this prison. baby.
Reasonable. If you want a voyeur for me, you ask.
Yeah.
Enthusiastic consent.
Consent is key.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where like the epic music album, like the like dun 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 ding, and then the epic breakdown. This is like where it starts, right here. Okay.
Yeah. But replace everything after the ding. Instead of epic music, it's just goofy ass mariachi music.
Okay, so again, he has a tumultuous relationship with his father.
Yes.
His father's family apparently doesn't like Pedro Jr.'s mother. And so he goes on a trip to see his family. And on the trip, Pedro Sr. and his family, they're like feeding him lines of like, she's so Go on.
Is he out of prison now?
No, Pedro Sr.
Okay. Pedro
so
Sr.
this-
goes on a trip.
Yeah,
This happens while Pedro Jr. is still in prison.
in prison.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Pedro Sr. goes on a trip to go visit his family. His family hates Pedro Jr.'s mom.
Okay.
And they're basically like, she's terrible. From what we hear, she is betraying you and she's cheating on you. And she's only using you for your money.
He's a school resource officer. He doesn't have any fucking money.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
Oh, okay.
By that time, I think it was like
promoted.
10 years.
He's been promoted. Okay. He's mall cop
He's now chief of police
Holy shit.
for
So-
the mall cops. Yes.
It turns into like just a tape recorder repeating itself where like he starts believing all the lies that they feed him.
Oh,
So-
that his wife's just like a gold digger and
Ruining his
oh, that's-
life, cheating
okay.
on him, yada, yada, yada. So his father goes back home and murders his mom. Apparently, he had plans to murder the entire family.
Word.
And he specifically, so Pedro Jr. says his father planned this while he was in prison because he knew if he would have done it while he was out and alive, he would have gotten murdered by him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So he murders the mother in her sleep, cuts her up with machete. Apparently, the brothers and the sisters hear about all this, and the neighbors help them flee. That's the only reason they survived, that the neighbors helped them. So, apparently, Pedro Jr., still in prison, apparently he was pretty close with the warden, which was probably just more convenience of like, you know, I could say no to you and get murdered, or I could just say, hell yeah, man, whatever you want to do.
What year is this?
I have no clue.
Okay.
He probably, the warden, I imagine, was like, look, I've got this clearly manipulative maniac on my hands, and he's killing a lot of prisoners. So he can kill a lot of prison guards, or he can kill a lot of prisoners.
Right.
Yeah.
So
It's probably like the 90s, I would think, right?
Probably around this time, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'd say 80s at least.
Okay.
okay. Warden's
So
probably
the
doing some
warden-
coke, listening to Duran Duran, and he's like, you know, this isn't the worst friend to have.
Right. And the warden lets him out to kill his father.
No.
Like Carl Panzeram style, just seems like
Gives him the keys, like, here's my truck.
as long as you're back by sundown, we're okay.
So apparently, Pedro Jr.'s mother would come visit all the time. Let's say like at least weekly. So he got to
Yeah.
hear updates on the family, what's going on, yada, yada, yada. And she doesn't come. She doesn't come apparently for a week or two. And then the warden like pulls him aside. It's like, hey, just let you know, your mom got murdered. He's like, what? And then he's like, yeah, by your dad. And he's
Holy
like,
shit.
fuck.
I hope he said it like that. Yeah. By your dad.
The warden's also played by Bon Jovi. John Bon Jovi.
You can get him dead or alive.
And because it's the 80s, I would imagine.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you think Winona Ryder played his mom?
Probably.
Nice.
No, she'd be too young. Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet his mom was hot because he's so goofy looking as George Lopez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently the warden's like, you can go to your mom's funeral.
Oh, come on.
So he goes.
Fucking what a jackass.
He goes to the mom's funeral, and apparently he swears on his mother's coffin that he will avenge her death and he will eat his father's heart.
Starts raining.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
like-
meanwhile, everyone else is just having a visitation.
And they're
he's-
like,
and they're
dude.
just like, dude, come on, man. Shape up.
so there's a part of me like
Ship up or ship out. But
he makes it sound as though like he's like doing it kind of like one-on-one with the coffin. But I'm hoping they're like, do you have any last words to say about your mother? It's like,
Oh, do I?
yes, I have prepared something. I will avenge you, mother. I will eat that son of a bitch's heart. And they're like, okay, thank you. Those are very nice words from Pedro
very
Jr.
nice words.
All right, now
Very
we're
understandable. I
gonna
think we can
turn
all
it
agree
over
with
to the priest for the last rites.
Thank you for letting me speak.
So apparently, and this is one of my favorite parts. So the father gets arrested for the murder, and just guess which prison they put him in.
Oh my
Gee, I fucking wonder. The only prison in Brazil, apparently.
Right? Did they have like none other?
I guess.
I'm hoping that they're just like the news is just like, and we're gonna do a vote on where he gets to go. Call in now.
Like American Idol style. Text which prison you think you should go to 865-214.
Jesus.
So they put him in the same fucking prison, but apparently they put him in two separate areas
For sure.
to make sure that he doesn't fucking get to him.
But what's the point of putting him in the same prison if you're going to separate them?
Because they want to do like a prison break style, crawling through the ducts to get to his
Oh,
dad.
dude,
hell
he doesn't
yeah.
eat more badass. So apparently, at one point, like he finds out his dad is in the same prison. Yada yada yada.
Because the warden told him.
He starts saying how he's really sick, he's feverish and he's cold and he needs blankets or whatever. And he gets a guard to come into the cell. He pulls the guard in at knife point and grabs the guard's gun, all his weapons, uses him as a hostage.
Who gave the guard a gun?
And then he somehow gets all the other guards to come in.
Lures him like fucking turkeys? Like,
So I don't know.
God damn.
The way it sounded to me, like when I first read it and was told or heard it, they make it sound so like a smooth transition. And so he bartered his way. It's like, what the fuck do you
What
mean?
happened? Yeah, what's the in between? You can't yada 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 that. Like, I
Like-
want to know what happened.
All right, so he knocks out the first guy. He's like, this guy's not feeling so good. So he calls in the second, knocks him out like, hey man, these guys are feeling so good. And he just does it over and over.
I think there's like a gas leak in here or something.
Yeah.
You should send another guard.
Everybody but me keeps passing out. It's really fucking weird.
I mean, in their defense, if I was like, you know, one of the guards there, I would just walk in like, yeah, take the gun. You're not going to kill me? Cool.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
he's holding 9 guns. Like,
He's got one in his mouth and like in his armpits.
a dog in an anime, like just fucking weapons in his like butt cheeks or some shit like that.
So apparently he like locks him up in his old cell
Of course.
and makes his way pretty freely to his dad.
He locks like several dozen guards in one cell.
It's like 45 guards are locked in his 10 by
Just
10.
casually strolls to his father's cell.
All the other
whistling?
prisoners
Yeah.
are cheering him on, you know.
No, they're just like used to it. They're like, all right, Pedro.
What's
Fun
Pedro?
killing your father.
Was it like the Magic Max from fucking the princess?
Oh, yeah.
Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah. It's just so, they're all just so bored with Pedro murdering people. It's like, oh, yeah, here he goes again to the murder and stuff, buddy.
So he makes his way to his father, and his father's just like, yep, saw this coming.
Color me surprised.
At least he didn't go out like begging for his life. Like he was like, "This is my son. There's no point." Like,
Yeah.
No, hold on, give it a second.
So apparently his last words to him were like, you're right. I'm sorry. I should not have done that. And
well, it's a little late for that.
Yeah, well,
so apparently he murders his father and pretty much lives by his word. He cuts open his chest, removes his heart. He said he cuts a sliver off the top part of his heart and chews on it. He said in an interview, he said he did not swallow. He chewed on it and spit it onto his.
Oh, you got to eat the heart if
you
you're
gotta,
already there.
Also, you're gonna fucking like. All right, so imagining first off, he's still carrying all 9 of these guns.
Right.
He cuts his father's chest open with one of the guns.
Yeah, he shoots it
it's-
open.
Yeah, just pop, 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 pop. But then you fucking like cutlery cut it. Just take a bite out of it, like a real hard.
I bet you he took the gun and he like shot the heart free. You
Yeah.
know, and, like he gripped the heart and he was like, boom, boom, and just ripped it out.
Yeah.
And then apparently just had a very delicate little morsel.
just
and he couldn't even eat.
tucked in a little.
What a
bit.
fucking poser.
Yeah, dude. He didn't have any weed to smoke, man.
Okay, so this, for a lot of other people, it kind of like, oh, and then he kind of chilled out and then he was free. But they look over this one horrendous, horrific thing. So before this, I'm pretty on board. Like, this motherfucker's badass. I fuck with this.
You're with him all the way through the patricide.
And okay, so this is where it's like,
This
Did you
is
have-
where you're.
this is where I'm like, ugh,
is where
bad
you-
look, bud.
Okay, all right.
So apparently, he has another friend in prison, and a rumor starts going around the prison. That's not said what the rumor was, but a rumor starts going on around the prison about Pedro Jr.'s friend. And whatever the rumor is, it gets his friend murdered.
Okay.
And so Pedro Jr. is just like, fuck that. That was my fucking friend. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
I'm the
And
one
then-
that murders my friends.
Only me!
And then during this scene, Adele's "Rumor Has It" is playing in the background.
Yes.
Rumor has it. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You're going to like where this is going.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, great.
So he deduces that the rumor was spread by a transsexual person in
Oh.
the prison. So apparently the trans group is separated from the general population because they were getting murdered. As you, raped.
Yeah. Obvious reasons.
I don't
Yeah.
think the U.S. even does that.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't.
Fuck, man.
But
Good job. Brazil?
apparently,
Yeah.
I guess.
Hey, shout out to Brazil. Let's credit where it's due.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
guess.
I don't know.
I mean, they only have one prison.
yeah, they only
So they got to have some kind
ran
of
by
innovative
John Bon
solution.
Jovi. You know what I mean?
so apparently he breaks away from the general population and sneaks into the trans pod.
Please tell me it's like Tootsie. Like he puts on some lipstick and like a wig, and he's like, "That's right, I'm Pedrina."
Well, kinda. Well, so apparently he kills the guy that started the rumor, but it like triggers a rampage to where he's like, I have to kill all these trans people.
Oh, Rico, no.
Dude.
He goes on a rampage where like he apparently like murders 17 of them and then like horrifically injures like the rest of them.
No.
Well, that's not okay.
That's not cool. That doesn't even lend itself to comedy. That's fucking, that's just fucked up.
I got nothing.
That's just fucked
That's
up.
just fucked up.
And so at this point, the warden was like, fuck. Like that, you're really ruining the vigilante thing that you
Yeah,
had going
yeah.
for you. And
You finally crossed a line.
yeah.
I can deal with you murdering your dad. I can deal with you murdering everybody else. Your best friend, whatever, fine, I guess.
But going on a rampage and killing 17 trans inmates for no fucking reason.
I mean,
Well,
good
technically, that
Sorry,
I hate
killing
playing-
16 for no
we go,
reason.
thank you.
job. 17
Killing-
for a kind of a reason.
The 17th was, or I guess the first was for a reason.
Albeit a stupid one.
Yeah. They probably didn't even start the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
They probably just fucking were like, oh yeah, it was so-and-so fucking said it. And he was
Yeah.
like, good enough for me.
Cool.
Yeah, it must have been an easy like scent to just flick off.
Yeah,
right?
I heard you said it. I didn't say it. It was.
Susie in Block C, you know? It was fucking, yeah.
I knew it was Susie. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
whew.
All right, cool.
That problem solved itself.
Yeah, exactly. And then fucking that jackass is also played by Walter Goggins. Fucking just gets off scot-free. Fuck that. No.
So apparently, like they put him in a trial, and basically, at this point, they start putting him in what's it called through
Like solitary confinement or something?
yes, but
Now, finally.
well, they're like, oh, we need to put you in a psych ward. Like you're so vicious and so terrible. Like they make him go through psych evaluations, and pretty much every person like that interviews him, like he is the most perfect psychopath that has ever existed.
no shit.
And so they're like, yeah, he shouldn't be around people just because he's gonna murder them. So they put him on 23-hour lockdown
And
where
that is
he's
my professional statement.
Oh, he's a crazy bonkers loony murder machine. I'm a doctor, and I said that with all seriousness.
so they put him on 23-hour lockdown. And apparently, like, it got to the point to where they had him be watched by 2 guards with guns who were supposed to kill on sight if he did anything remotely funny.
Like a hilarious show.
What about some light improv?
That's what I was thinking about. Like, well, thank God he's really shit at jokes.
So he goes
He's
to
working on his tight 5.
Just take him down.
So he goes through solitary confinement for 10 years.
Honestly, it was probably the best time for him.
Actually,
He
and
got
this is
more
where it gets
crazy?
weird.
He murdered another person.
No, he did not. In that 10 years, he chilled the fuck out. He didn't murder anybody in those 10 years.
I mean, there was no one else around, but
And also, at the time, Brazil had a law to where you can only serve 30 years max in prison.
that
They let him out.
So they
They let him out of prison.
So I'm not saying that we do prison right in America, but we don't do that. You know, like I'm not saying we got the best system, but 30 years max.
So yeah, that's the. To my understanding, there's a new addendum post him getting out.
Is it named after him?
Is it the Pedro crazy fucker act?
yeah.
But it's no longer 30 years. It's 35.
Oh, good.
The extra 5 will
Yeah,
really
great.
like, help
Yeah.
like fucking rehabilitate
So
those people.
Awesome.
So he
I
gets out.
love this movie. Such a good
He
movie.
gets out, right? And no joke, doesn't kill anybody. He actually lives a peaceful life, and then he like is out for like 5-6 years, and
Murders one.
no, he doesn't murder anybody. They just put him on trial for shit he did in prison.
Oh, yeah.
I was
good.
gonna say,
Oh, then put it back in.
Yeah, and they put him back in, I think, for like another 6 to 10 years. So by the And then once he gets released from that, I think by that time he is 66 years old. I want to say he was released in 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
So wait, damn. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go.
So I guess they gave him 6 to 10 for what he did in prison, right?
Yeah.
But he killed bare minimum 17 people.
Yeah, he got a month per trans woman.
Yeah.
Is what he got.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take
he
that
killed
kudos
way more
away
than
from Brazil.
just the trans block, though.
So I'm going to say he probably got 3 years for his dad,
Yeah.
and then a couple.
Nah, I gotta say,
a
like,
couple
they
weeks
probably let
per
that
trans
slide.
person.
Like, oh, your dad killed your mom?
yeah, right,
I'm gonna let
whatever.
them, yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
We'll toss that aside.
That math still doesn't add up though.
No, that's
All right, I'm going to say
bad
2
prison
years for the assault on the prison guards.
Yeah.
7 weeks per trans woman. Was what that math is breaking down to. This is so fucked.
So
Damn.
he gets released, and this is the wrap of the story. This is where like the credits are rolling, and like the happy-go-lucky music is going.
Oh, this is where Walking on Sunshine cues in?
Yeah.
Oh, good. This is a happy ending.
Yeah, so Pedro, and I shit you not, Pedro literally has a YouTube channel right now. Pedro has a very small Twitch channel. He has a pretty solid
Twitch
following.
channel.
What's
where
he play? Please tell me it's Stray. Please
Nah,
tell me he's playing
Is it
Stray. right
Minecraft?
I think he was playing Counter-Strike, but he only like played for a
Oh, of
little
course.
now. Okay.
bit. But yeah, he had a pretty big YouTube channel with one of his friends, and I think they had like some blowout. So it's like rebuilding his brand.
You mean
Yeah.
this
He
guy
killed
wasn't
that
able
guy.
to maintain
Did
a
he
friendship?
murder that man?
No, but he is a born again Christian. So in his
That's the worst part
God,
of this.
he's just
in
getting
his
so much worse.
So I checked out his YouTube channel, and like, you know, when you go pull up to a new YouTube channel, like there's that intro video of like, here's like me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's like his baptism as a born again Christian.
Neat.
Lots of crying. It's in a river.
Tight.
There's like slight rain, so it's like really emotional.
Oh, the slight rain's a nice touch.
Did he
Yeah.
also open up a karate school? Because I feel like that's something he would do.
But
Did he open up a young boys' home? You know, like a sleepaway kind of boarding school.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this motherfucker is like the head dude for a boarding school?
Yeah, they probably recruit him for what's that fucking sci-fi channel show, Assassin High or something like that? Murder school, you know?
Academy for Young Sociopaths.
what's the song that they should play while they're like when you like, you know, like he's doing something and like it stops like mid, like while like in the middle of like smiling and like catching a football.
What's a song about a government failing its people?
I got a pocket.
Yeah, that. Or just any song by fucking Ted Nugent.
I'm thinking like
Stranglehold.
Stranglehold.
Yeah, they should play that.
I was kind of thinking Pharrell's Happy.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. He's a terrible man, and that's a terrible song. So that's where they should go right
That
in.
fills you full of murderous rage just listening to that song. So
And a new murderer was born that day. My fucking self.
So
Wow.
that's the story of Pedro Rodriguez Filho.
Well, it's wonderful.
It was great. It was really
Yeah,
nice.
wasn't that?
I believed very little of it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
Not an ounce of the part where he was played by Rico from Hannah Montana. Did any of that happen? Not a single bit of it.
Would you label him as a badass motherfucker? Like,
Fuck no.
Fuck
no,
dude.
he's a bitch. Fuck that guy.
He's a piece of shit.
He's a lying asshole that said he fought WWE's China when he was 16 years old, and then he murdered 17 trans women. That guy sucks ass.
well, they don't necessarily have to be trans women. They could be trans men as well.
They're in a men's prison.
Was it a man's prison? Well,
don't
he was
know.
a man.
I doubt it's a co-ed prison.
I don't think they do co-ed prisons. No.
I don't think they do co-ed prisons.
But do we know that for sure?
No.
They only have the one prison.
I guess we don't.
I feel like you're applying.
It seems like
you're
they
not,
do
You're not
only
allowing
have
them
one
to apply
prison,
their own pronouns.
Well, if they're all trans people in a men's prison, then
They
would
probably
be
identify as men.
Yeah. No, they would identify as women, but they would be sent to men's prison.
Oh, see, I was picturing like women who transition to men and they were like, "Oh, we'll send you to the men's prison."
Nah, they're not. I doubt they're that
No,
progressive.
you're probably right. That's probably not how it
They're
works
like,
out.
you were
Sorry.
born with a dick. You're going to dick prison. That's how that.
prison.
Yeah, they would probably be sent to dick prison. They're like, but I'm a woman. This is going to be bad. I'm like, well, we'll stick you in this cell block where only one lunatic can get in.
I'll tell you something, fellas. I've been in dick prison the last week. I need to talk to my wife.
Yikes!
So, Grant, do you think he's
Oh, he's a horrible human being.
well?
But I mean, come on. I really, really like that.
That
movie.
okay? Can
You
we
know
at
what I
least
really
say
like
what
that
he
movie.
he did a lot of badass shit? Can we at least
Hell
give him
yeah.
that?
I mean, pushing your
Duh.
cousin into a sugarcane thresher, like, I understand that. I would have done the same with my cousins, but that's about it. That's the extent to
You
which
don't
I can
think
get
killing
behind
his
that.
dad? That
No, because if he had eaten even a sliver of his heart, I'd be like, that was fucking badass.
Yeah.
But the fact that he just chewed on it and spit it out, it's like, you're a bitch through and through.
And he cut it like a little puss
yeah, cut a
boy.
little
like,
sliver.
like-
No, you gotta pull that thing out.
Yeah, you take
take
a
a bite out of it like an apple.
Yeah, and he said to his mother's grave he was going to eat his father's heart, and he didn't eat it. He is a
That is
liar.
And he
who
lied to
can't-
his dead mama.
He lied to his dead fucking mom.
what about the wedding? Because I think the wedding was pretty fucking badass.
I'm gonna go ahead and discount it. I'm gonna say that baby Rico didn't do anything, and his two buddies killed all 7 of those people.
I'm going to say
Also-
Pedro was probably stuffing his face full of the free food and free drinks while his friends were shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
He
I
was
forgot to
eating crab
mention.
cakes and deviled
After like
eggs.
they murdered a whole bunch of people at the wedding, apparently they sat at the bar of the wedding, were having drinks and eating food.
Oh, sure they did.
Sure they did.
Yes, of course
Sure
they did.
they
And the bartender was like, "Yeah, no problem. Another Dos Perros."
I gotta say, like, you get back when I was bartending, you catch me in the right mood, I'd probably still serve you if you're gonna tip me after you killed 7 people in front of me. I'm like, fuck it, this is 10 dog, like whatever. This shit just happened.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, also like from the moment he killed those 3 guys who were just nice enough to share a J with him, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't handle your shit, you puss. that's how I feel I am.
There's a reason Harold and Kumar went to White Castle, not prison. Because
Yeah.
you don't smoke weed and then think like, I'm going to shoot a bunch of people.
Yeah, they could handle their shit.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight.
He was a psychopath.
Pedro Jr., if you're listening, I doubt you. I doubt your story.
I doubt it. I've got some questions.
Okay, if
buddy.
anyone's listening to this and you like have the free time, look up pictures of him now because you will laugh.
He looks like an asshole now. That's why I asked if he started a karate school, because those pictures look like a promo from a dickhead sensei at a youth karate school.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Very true, very spot on.
I'm sorry. He's in Brazil. He'll be doing capoeira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Which is even funnier. Imagine him doing capoeira. Incredible.
Just belly hanging out, just like trying to flip around and everything. This has been Joseph. Thanks for coming along on this very made up ride with us.
It's very not true, very fictional ride.
This is Sam. I really hope any of you know who Walter Goggins is, because
Yeah, you would not stop
Otherwise-
referencing
yeah,
it.
because if you don't know who Walter Goggins is, now look up a photo of him and re-listen to all my Walter Goggins jokes, and they'll be funny.
Yeah, if you didn't pause and Google, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Also, I really hope you immediately had the picture of Rico from Hannah Montana in your head when I said it, because it's also really funny to imagine that kid being a murderer at a wedding.
And I'm Grant, and I'm pretty sure Sam has a secret desire to be a casting director. I mean, clearly.
It's all I want to do.
Time. The whole time. You were like, you know what? Let's recast him.
Danny Trejo? Yeah, he's gonna want to be in on this. I'm gonna tell him no.
You know who puts butts in seats? The kid from Hannah Montana.
Goddamn right he does. Rico Suave was the best fucking part of that show.
See, I was picturing the slightly older, swoopy-haired kid.
Oh no, I'm talking about the little shithead kid that ran the
No, that's
stand.
way better.
Yeah.
And this is the very gullible Jamie.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
And the Book of Mysteries closes on our heroes. Until next time, my fellow wanderers, my kindred spirits in the graveyard, we've had some laughs, some scares, and maybe even learned something along the way. Think of us for your next podcast listening pleasure. Think of us when you go to sleep at night. The house settles, and you close your eyes and feel something there.
If you like what you hear, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Trashville_USA. And if there's a true crime story you want us to cover, please email us at don'temailtrashville@gmail.com.